Can't you see that's the last act of a desperate man?
We don't care if it's the first act of Henry V. We're leaving.
Now, wait a minute. Wait just one doggone minute here. Just give me 24 hours to come up with a brilliant idea to save our town. Just 24 hours. That's all I ask. No! You do it for Randolph Scott.
Randolph Scott.
All right, Sheriff. 24 hours.
Hey there guys, Mike here. Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection is back, and thank you for tuning in for this, because this is a special episode. This is my annual. Every summer I pick a Western star, you know, someone say John Wayne or somebody, and I'll watch all their Westerns for 1 month, and then afterwards I'll make a video and kind of show them off and everything and stuff. So previous years I did Randolph Scott, I did Joel McCrea, and last year I did Audie Murphy. And this year I'm gonna spotlight Randolph Scott again. This is gonna be Randolph Scott 2.0, and basically it's been about 3 years now, and in that time I've accumulated a few extra movies, memorabilia, different stuff like that. So I thought I would show it off. Plus it was time again to kind of delve into Randolph Scott and like watch all his movies over again, all his westerns and stuff. In this collection, I don't have all of his westerns from say the 30s, where he did some of the Zane Grey westerns that were like an hour long or so. I think I have 2 of those, but I really consider Randolph Scott's Western career really taking place in like 1939, 38, 39, somewhere in there, when he did the Frontier Marshal and stuff like that, and then onwards, to the Bodeker days, till retirement. So I kind of mainly I like to say 46 to 62 is the prime years of Randolph Scott's best westerns and stuff. So let's get right into that, guys. These are going to be in no chronological order, if you will. I'm just going to go through some of them, and I might have multiple editions, and I'll just show you the multiple editions. So let's get right onto it. This is a movie directed by Fritz Lang. This came out in 1941, and this is actually based on a Zane Grey story. He was a famous kind of a pulp Western author from like the early 20th century, 20s and stuff like that. If I'm wrong about that, let me know. But he was kind of the Louis L'Amour, so to speak, of the early, first part of the 20th century. So a lot of westerns, talking pictures and stuff like that, tried to incorporate on that and stuff. So anyways, this was a movie in 1941 directed by Fritz Lang. I have 2 versions. I have the DVD and a Blu-ray. This is Western Union, and it's a really good, really beautifully shot Technicolor movie. Fritz Lang does a really good job on it. It's got, and this is the DVD, by the way, but it's a great movie. It's got Robert Young, Dean Jagger, it's got John Carradine, Chill Wills, Barton McLean. It's got a great cast. Plus, it's one of the first times that he worked with producer Harry Joe Brown, which he would have a really successful run with working with him in the late 40s and early 50s and stuff. So we'll get onto that later. But there you go, guys. Western Union, really good movie. Highly recommend that Kino release of that. It's really good, the Kino Blu-ray. Next up, this is a German release of It's from a label called Explosive Media, and they do some really good Western movies in Germany. This is kind of their label, and they put out a lot of stuff. A lot of times they restore stuff and put it out in Germany, and it's one of the only, sometimes the only place to get some really good looking prints. You know, sometimes they beat America to beat the US to it, you know, in restoring stuff. So this is The Stranger Wore a Gun. This is a DVD, and really cool, really cool. Thought I had to pick that up just to see how it looked. Next up, we got another German release. This is a release of was it Rage? God, I'm forgetting the name. Was it Rage? Crap. What is it? Oh yeah, Rage at Dawn. What am I talking about? Rage at Dawn. But it's completely in German. There's no English audio track or dub. And there's no subtitles in it, which is unfortunate, but it's a really good print of the movie. A lot of this is in the public domain, so you get a lot of not so great copies of it. But too bad, it just needs its original English audio to make it really good. So that was that was just a real bummer about this one though. But it would have been a great release. But Rage at Dawn. This is a French release of one of Randolph Scott's movies. Now these are all, this is a new one. I didn't have this in the last video because I had never seen the movie The Texicans, or the Texans, I'm sorry. But there you go. There's a French release. Now this company, Western Legends, or this Western Legends edition, they have a whole series of American Westerns. With this look, they're all pretty much this kind of cover, this colors. It's in French, of course, but this one actually has the original, English audio, and what's really also good about this, if you know French, it has a lot of bonus features on here, unlike American releases of some of these standard titled Randolph Scott releases. But too bad they don't have subtitles, but it's what matters and what goes into this, because this is a really nice release. It looks really good, and it's a pretty decent movie. I think this is from 38 or 39, The Texans. That was a hard movie to find, really, and that's why I ended up having to get the French version. This was a new one that I got since the last video. This is a MGM UA DVD release. This is Belle of the Yukon. This is a pretty standard Western release. 1944, I believe. But it's pretty good. It's not bad. It's kind of tells the story of kind of the Klondike era and the Western town with dance hall girls and stuff like that. And pretty much Randolph Scott doesn't have a large role in this. He's got more of a kind of a maybe third bill and stuff in it. So, but yeah, it's an okay movie, but definitely had to add it to my collection. Next up, a really good movie. Unfortunately, it's in the public domain, and it's another movie directed by Harry Joe Brown. This would be one of the prime ones directed by him. No, this is a video label called HollywoodScrapHeap.com, and you can find a lot of really good westerns from there. And this is a movie called The Gunfighters, and this is from 1947. It's really good. It's filmed in Cinecolor. Out of all the movies that he did in Cinecolor, I think there's only one that they don't have a print. The print doesn't exist anymore, or if it's out there, it's hidden. But that's to a movie I'm going to show you in a minute, though. But this was filmed in Cinecolor, and it's a really good movie. It's kind of he plays a gunfighter, Brazos. I think this is based on a Zane Grey story, actually. Yeah. It's a Zane Grey story. So yeah, The Gunfighter is pretty good. Next up, this is a regular edition of Rage at Dawn. This is one of the many public domain copies. This is Echo Bridge release. It's also got the Fighting Westerner, Abilene Town, and To the Last Man on there too. But those are all really subpar releases though. But this is pretty good. It's not bad. It's very watchable. Next up, we got kind of the same deal. I got two different versions of this. This is Abilene Town, and it's kind of the same story. You got it's in the public domain, and there's many different copies and stuff. And I think pretty much that the print that's been floating around, that they've been dubbing, making these DVDs and VHSs over the years, is coming from like a 16 millimeter like television copy. So it's really. It's not very sharp and stuff, but this is supposedly from the film Detective, which they do a lot of restoration and stuff, but it really doesn't look that much better than this other edition. So let me show you this one. So this it's better, but this is the one I got first time, and I was really disappointed with this. Just didn't look good at all. So if you're looking for these, try to stay away from this edition because it just doesn't look good at all. It's got a nice some artwork and stuff, but it's not that great. Now this is a really good movie, directed by Alan Dewan from 1939. I don't know what it was about that year, but there's so many good movies. It came out in 1939. This is one of my favorites. This one really plays well on repeat viewings. Frontier Marshal, and this is an Aero Academy DVD release, and it looks really good. This is a Region 2 DVD, so you might have, if you have an all-region DVD Blu-ray player, you can play that in there. But pretty good stuff. Next up, this is the movie that was filmed in Cinecolor that there's no known prints in Cinecolor out there. So all the copies that gets shown on TV, even on they show it at a theater, it's usually this black and white copy, and this is Fighting Man of the Plains, which is another really good movie. It's originally supposed to be in Cinecolor, but unfortunately it's really good in black and white. It's all good. Again, we got Victor Jory in this as the bad guy. He's always good and stuff though. But Fighting Man of the Plains. Now here's one I like a lot. This was during his tenure at Warner Brothers. He did a whole series of movies for them. Now this was directed by Andre de Toth. And I think originally, I don't think this one was filmed in 3D, but he did a few with him that was made in 3D. But this is a really good movie, The Bounty Hunter. And this is I believe this might be an Australian release that I have of this. I'm not really sure where this print comes from, but it looks good. It's a nice color print. There needs to be a better copy of this out there, like on Kino or something, but I'm not really sure what the story is, if Warner Brothers still owns it or not, but really good. This is real prime Randolph Scott right here, The Bounty Hunter. Like I say, guys, these are in no particular order. They're just kind of random. Now, this is towards the end of his career. This is a movie that's got a young Angie Dickinson and what's his name? James Gardner, I think, is in it. This is Shootout at Medicine Bend. Now, I kind of think of it as a lesser movie. It kind of reminds me of a TV episode for some reason. It has that TV feel to it. I'm not really sure why, but it's a really decent movie. This was probably 1957 when this came out. This was for Warner Brothers, so it's pretty interesting, and it's available through the Warner Archive, so it's easy to get. And speaking of the Warner Archive, here we got another really good release, filmed in Warner Color. This is a movie another one directed by Andre de Toth. This is Carson City. This is a really good story of Randolph Scott's a railroad architect, kind of building a railroad. He's having to contend with these bandits known as the Champagne Bandits, and who's headed up by Raymond Massey. So it's a really good movie, kind of the town fighting against the railroad coming in and all kinds of stuff going on. It's a really good movie. It's fast paced, and it's a repeat watcher. Carson City. Next up, this is a movie. It's not a typical Randolph Scott movie, unfortunately. This was filmed in, I think this was 51. Later on, this became a TV show of the same name. This is Sugarfoot. Now, this was filmed through Warner Brothers also, but it's a little light. I call it Randolph Scott light. It's not. I don't know. It could have been more. It's not a lot of action in it and stuff. It's more story driven and not so much action story driven, if you know what I mean. But pretty decent. And I think this is an Australian edition. I have, or at least I got it through a seller on eBay from Australia. Next up, this was a kind of a no name, like no video company's name on this or anything. I found this in a secondhand store one day, a thrift store, and I found it, and I had never seen this before, and I brought it home, and I actually found it during July and put it on and watched it, and it had a pretty decent solid print. So I don't know if you'll find this out there, but this is a copy of 7th Cavalry, and it's really mysterious. It looks pretty decent artwork. There's artwork on the disc and stuff, but there's no company name, so I don't know what it is. But 7th Cavalry, this was made in like 56, I believe, and it's a pretty solid movie. Next up, this is a really good movie made at Columbia. This is 10 Wanted Men. This is really good. Basically, there's some revenge and stuff like that in it. It's pretty decent. Sorry, I'm trying to get used to these glasses I just got this week. But yeah, 10 Wanted Men, one of the movies I like to come back to. Now this one's also really good. This is the DVD copy of this. Now this is available on the new Mill Creek Blu-ray box set that came out last year. But this is a DVD copy of it. This is a Lawless Street, and it has a young Angela Lansbury in it. Pretty cool. Next up, this is really one of my more favorite ones because it's got Gabby Hayes is in it as he's kind of playing the kind of a sidekick, more or less, of Randolph Scott in this. This is Trail Street, and it's pretty good. It's also got Robert Ryan and Ann Jeffries in it. It's really good. Trail Street, and that's available through Warner Archive. And then the same I can say for this next one. This is Bad Man's Territory. This has also got Gabby Hayes in it, but this time he's playing one of the bad guys. But it's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of different famous gunslinger people in it, like Jesse James and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun. Pretty fast paced. And then again with this one, let's see. Okay, yeah, Gabby Hayes returns in this one. This is Return of the Bad Men, which is more or less a sequel of sorts of Bad Man's Territory. This is Return of the Bad Men. It's got all the same people. Basically, the same people are back in it. You got Robert Ryan, Ann Jeffries, and Gabby Hayes. So they did a series of movies together for RKO. Ray Enright was the director of those, but it's a really good, solid movie. Now next up, this is actually one of the newest releases I got. I got this collection. This is a John Wayne 10 movie collection. And the reason I got this was there's two movies on here that are famous for when Randolph Scott teamed up with John Wayne and Marlena Dietrich over at Universal, and they did a couple of movies together, which are a lot of fun. movies that's got a big cast in it, all kinds of actors and supporting actors. A lot of fun. Both movies are a lot of fun, but which ones they were, The Spoilers from 1942, and then also Pittsburgh from 1941. Both of them are really good, and I got them both on this because I didn't have either one of them on their own single, discs to themselves. Plus there was a bunch of John Wayne movies on here that I didn't have yet, so I went ahead and picked this set up. Plus it's got a pretty nice slipcase there. So there you go, The Spoilers and Pittsburgh. Let's see here. Okay, next up, I got 2 editions of one movie. This was originally filmed in Cinecolor. This was around the time he was doing the movies with Cinecolor, and this is the first one. This is a German release on Blu-ray of Canadian Pacific. Now it came out on Blu-ray and DVD from Kino, and this is the DVD version from Kino of Canadian Pacific. I ended up not getting the Blu-ray from Kino. I ended up getting the German Blu-ray, but really good. They both look good, and it's pretty much a railroad drama. A lot of action, a lot of punching, and really cool. And then we got another 2 movies here. I got the Spanish version of The Caribou Trail. Now, The Caribou Trail is, I don't know, it's not one of the best movies ever made, but man, it's a lot of fun. I don't know how many times I've seen this movie, but it's really good. It's got some performances in it that they're almost not meant to be funny, but they seem funny. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. If you've seen this a few times, you know what I'm talking about. And you can almost see Randolph Scott in a few scenes kind of smiling because he knows he's in a kind of a bad scene there. But this has got Gabby Hayes in it, which really makes this movie worthwhile in this. So this is the Spanish Blu-ray, and then this is the DVD from Kino of The Caribou Trail. And I'm not sure why I didn't get this on Blu-ray through Kino. I don't know if it's out of print or what. If you know, let me know in the comments. But there you go, The Caribou Trail. Next up, this was from the great year of 1939. I think this is 39 or 40. But this is over at 20th Century Fox, and this is Jesse James. This is a really good movie. And Randolph Scott has kind of a smaller role. This has got Henry Fonda, and it's got Tyrone Power. So he's probably 4th billed in this movie. But this is a lot of fun. It's in beautiful Technicolor, and it's definitely a movie not to be missed. It's Jesse James, really good. And the same thing with this. Randolph Scott is kind of playing. He's pretty much playing 3rd bill to Errol Flynn in Virginia City. This one's also got Humphrey Bogart before he became a bigger star. I think this year was 1940 on this. You got Errol Flynn, Miriam Hopkins, and of course you got good old Randolph Scott. And this was directed by Michael Curtiz. So this is a really solid, great Western. It's a lot of fun. Errol Flynn really makes it. And plus, in Randolph Scott, they both have really good roles in it. So it's really good, worth getting. Next up, this is I bought this through the UK seller on eBay. It's hard to find this movie, but this is a movie from, I think, 1941, 42, something like that. This is basically the Belle Starr story. Belle Starr, the Bandit Queen. And I'm trying to remember if this is a color production or if this is black and white. Anyways, I enjoyed it though. I think it's in color. But yeah, pretty good. It's kind of another movie that's kind of hard to find, like the Texans and one of those other movies that, like, you can pretty much find them in other countries, but you really can't find it here, you know, that easily. So you have to kind of look for it. So this is Belle Starr, the Bandit Queen. Really pretty decent, actually. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of set during the Civil War and everything. And this is one of those 10 movie Western collections. You know, there's a whole bunch of these out here. This one was released through Universal. I showed this the first time. This has a couple, actually this has 3 Randolph Scott movies on this. This one's got When the Daltons Rode. The very good, one of my favorites, Albuquerque. This is really good. And then it's got the Spoilers. I actually lied, I had it with this, but I didn't have a single version of it, just another with one of these collections. But this is a really good, solid collection. Not only for Randolph Scott, but it's got some, I think it's got some Audie Murphy, Joel McCrea, Van Heflin. So it's a pretty pretty assorted. It's got a lot of Western actors on there. Really good. Next up, this is a collection that TCM put out, Turner Classic Movies, the TV channel. This was called Randolph Scott Westerns Collection. It's got 4 movies on it, which is really good. This has actually gone up a lot in price since I got this. But this has 4 great movies. It's got Corner Creek, The Walking Hills, which technically is not a Western. It's got the Doolins of Oklahoma. And then it's got 7th Cavalry, which I had a single copy of, which that copy might be a little bit better, but I believe they're the same print. So, but yeah, this is a really good set to get. And it's got some great artwork. Plus it's got some trailers, photographs, poster collections, and Ben Mankiewicz from TCM introduces a few of the episodes, so it's pretty cool. Next up, this is a triple feature through Warner Video. This has got Man Behind the Gun, Thunder Over the Plains, and Riding Shotgun. Riding Shotgun is one of my favorite ones. I love watching that one over and over. It's one of the best ones of his early 50s career at Warner Brothers. Really good, Riding Shotgun. But yeah, this is another good release you can get for like $7, $8, $9 on eBay. Really good stuff there. And then here's another 4-film collection through Warner Brothers. This one's got Colt 45, Fort Worth, Tall Man Riding, and Ride the High Country, which obviously Ride the High Country is the best one on this set. But you can get that on Blu-ray by itself and DVD by itself. Colt 45 is okay. I didn't like the villain in it. He was kind of cheesy. It's like when he's holding the gun's almost bigger than he is. I don't know. I think he was miscast. Tall Man Riding's pretty good, and Fort Worth is actually pretty good. They're all pretty solid movies, with Ride the High Country being really good, and Randolph Scott's very last movie, and I think Sam Peckinpah's first Western. So there you go, a good release. Next up, I'm going to show some. Now these are some movies that I have that Randolph Scott was in that weren't necessarily Westerns. A couple of them are one of his early 30s Westerns, but these are all basically movies that he appeared in, you know, that weren't Westerns. So this one, first one I'll show you, this was at, what was this, Paramount or Universal? Yeah, Universal. This is a movie called Supernatural. And it's got Carol Lombard in it. It's really good. It's he's kind of playing God, what is he playing? I can't remember what that was, but this is a really good release. This is a 2K master from Kino. It's a really good release. It's Supernatural. I think I've only seen this once. I can't remember exactly, but it does look really good. Now this is a Warner Archive release. This is one of the wartime movies that he did. He did a few of them. This one's called Bombardier, and it's really good. It's got Pat O'Brien. Who else is in it? Got Anne Shirley, and of course you got Randolph Scott. Directed by Richard Wallace. which is a really solid World War II story, basically about flight school, and he's an instructor, flight instructor, and stuff. So it's pretty solid. It's a lot of fun. Next up, this was one of the more famous, one of the most famous pictures you'll see on the internet with him and Cary Grant. You know what I'm talking about. You see that a lot, and everybody makes all kinds of clickbait with it and stuff. But this was the movie that him and Cary Grant was in with Irene Dunn. I believe this is like 1943, 45, something like that. I don't know. My Favorite Wife. And it's a pretty standard, you know, kind of a screwball-ish comedy of the time. Of course, it's got 3 great leads in it. You know, Irene Dunn is a really funny comedian and serious actor. She's, you know, really good. Of course, Cary Grant and Randolph Scott. So it's a pretty solid, all-around little comedy. It's a lot of fun. It's directed by Garson Kanin, which he was a famous comedian or comedy writer and stuff. Now this is the 1936 version of Last of the Mohicans, and he was in this, which is this is kind of a public domain copy. I'm not sure exactly where they got it from, but this is, you know, kind of somebody's made this made their own cover and everything, but it doesn't look too bad. But this is definitely a movie that needs to be cleaned up and put out there and stuff. But yeah, Last of the Mohicans. And I'm trying to go through this, guys, as quick as possible because there's so many movies he has, or it seems like it is. So I'm trying to keep it under, you know, 5 hours. So here's one of the early 30s Zane Grey westerns that he put out. This is The Fighting Westerner. Now this is actually a pretty nice set. This is through Lionsgate, and they put out a couple of these, and I need to find the other ones and stuff because these are probably the best looking prints of these early 30s ones. And if you're a fan of Randolph Scott, you know what I'm talking about. He did about 5 or 6 between like 33 and like 36 or something like that. And but this one looks really good, and it's through Lionsgate Video, so pretty cool. Fighting Westerner. And then here's another one of those, but this is through oldies.com or Alpha Home Video, which have been known to put out some rare movies, but they're usually not in great shape. But this is one of the movies he made with Henry Hathaway. This is Man of the Forest. And pretty good for what it is. It's just, you know, it's kind of an example of the early 30s westerns. They were a lot slower, kind of slower, and they had kind of a, they kind of had like a, they were all kind of cutouts of each one. They none of them kind of stood out from the other ones and stuff. I don't think until Stagecoach came out, some of the movies from the late 30s came out, that the western really got lifted up to the next level. But it's a lot of fun. You know, it's not the best movie, but you know, if you're a fan of Randolph Scott, you got to have it and check it out. So he makes it worth watching. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about this one. This is actually a really good kind of science fiction type movie. This was actually made, Miriam C. Cooper, I believe. Yeah, did this, who did the original 1933 King Kong. This has also got music by Max Steiner. This was through RKO. This is a movie called She. And kind of a science fiction-y type of movie. Not to go into it, but do some research on it. I know this is the black and white version. There is a colorized version out there. Always go with the black and white. And this is through, this is an early Kino Video DVD snapper case. So there you go. Okay, guys, so now we're going to shift gears and we're going to get to the main stuff. When he started working with Bud Boddicker in 1956, I believe. He started making some of his best movies, I think, and the ones that he's most remembered for, and really influential westerns and stuff that had a great influence on 60s westerns and spaghetti westerns and on. So the first teaming with him and Bud Boddicker was 1956, and this is, man, one of the best, one of the very best. This is 7 Men from Now. Really good. It's got Gail Russell, Lee Marvin. Great western. Got to see this one. And this is a really good DVD. This is not on Blu-ray yet, but this has got a lot of extras on here and stuff like that. So it's well worth getting this one. So 7 Men from Now. It's really good. And in no order, guys, but this was a VHS tape I found one day. This is still got it's still sealed. It's brand new. But this is of Comanche Station. This was a western he did with Bud Boddicker, of course, and really good. I thought that was cool just to get a VHS. I don't think I have a working, well, yeah, I do got a working VCR, but it's pretty cool, and it's still sealed up, so I thought that was cool. I mean, I found it for like $2 and stuff, so I had to have it. It's in mint shape, so that's cool. And this was the next movie I'm going to show you by Bud Boddicker and him. Has Virginia Mayo and Karen Steele. I'm trying to think, was this the last one they did together? Or this was the next to the last one that he did. He owed Warner Brothers one more movie to finish his contract out, and he knew the script stunk. He knew it stunk, but he got Bud Boddicker to do it, or Bud volunteered his time on it to make it go by a little better for him and stuff, as a kind of a solid, friendship thing, and be like, okay, man, I'll help you out on this, because he knew the script is so. But the movie I'm talking about is Westbound, and to me, it's a really nice Technicolor movie. It's really cool and stuff, but I don't know, it's lacking some stuff in there. I mean, Karen Steele is really good in it, and Randolph Scott's pretty good in it too, but you could tell he wasn't all the way there for this one. I don't know. You can just tell little things about it and stuff, but it's pretty basic. I hate to say that, but it's pretty basic. Considering what it is, it's the script that brings it down. It's not the actors, it's not the direction, it's just the script. And it sucks that it's kind of in between all those really good ones, but there you go, Westbound. This is a Warner Archive DVD. Next up, I got these two volumes were released on DVD through Mill Creek, and they were called the Randolph Scott Roundup Collection. Both of them had 6 movies on each one, and the first one is I always call it the tan one, which has The Lawless Street, The Tall T, Decision at Sundown, Buchanan Rides Alone, Ride Lonesome, and Comanche Station. So those are the classic ones with Bud Boddicker directed, minus Lawless Street. And then you got the second volume, which are some of the early 50s Columbia ones. And the Desperados actually goes back to the 40s, but it's got the Desperados, the Nevadan, Santa Fe, Man in the Saddle, Hangman's Knot, and The Stranger Wore a Gun. So all pretty solid Randolph Scott movies from Columbia when he was at Columbia and stuff. So really good stuff there. So you all might recognize those. Now you can get these really cheap all day on Amazon and eBay and stuff, which are easy to do. But since these have come out, Mill Creek has upgraded everything. And they put this really nice set out last year. This is the Randolph Scott Blu-ray collection from Mill Creek. It's got 12 classic westerns, which were all the ones I just showed you on DVD. I mean, when they announced this, I was hoping for some different movies and stuff, but we get basically the same movies. But some of these have been restored and upgraded on Blu-ray. We've got some added audio commentaries to a few of the movies, and we got like a short little documentary, maybe 20 minutes or so, which is really cool too. Plus it's got a little booklet in there, which is kind of cool. But yeah, this is pretty nice, and it puts all of those together, kind of freshens it up in HD. But there you go, the Randolph Scott collection, 12 classic westerns. So basically you got the Desperados through Comanche Station, so all the same movies I just mentioned on Blu-ray. So I would just get this. Now I think this one's a little pricier right now because it's brand new. I think it's around the $40 mark, but it's well worth it if you're a fan and you don't have these movies yet, or you don't have any on Blu-ray. Definitely pick this up. Now this was the first collection of westerns I got from Randolph Scott. I think I had 7 Men from now, but once I got this set, and I really dug into this set, and this is a really good one, and I really dug into this. This one's got interviews, documentaries, got all kinds of cool stuff in this. A lot of people from Clint Eastwood, the different people talking about Bud Boddicker and Randolph Scott. But this was the box set from Sony that got put out in like 2008, 2009, something like that. But this is the films of Bud Boddicker, and I think they did one with the films of Sam. What's his name? Sam Fuller. They did Sam Fuller. They did a few other ones, but really cool. I mean, I got this used, and I think I even wore it out a little bit more, but it's got all kinds of special features on here. It's got the documentary A Man Can Do That, about Bud Boddicker, that originally aired on TCM back in the day, and I remember recording those off of to DVR on the disc. I burned them and recorded them back then, but when this box set first came out, they aired like all the classic ones, the 5 ones, and they had the documentary, and I recorded all those, and I had never seen them all. And 7 Men for Now was one of them, and after I watched it, I was like, wow, this is awesome, man. And I started digging into this, but I didn't get this box set till years later. I mean, I watched those recorded discs a few times, but once I got this, I really dug into it. But you can find this really cheap out there. But since this has come out, this has been replaced by even better edition, which is, it's out of print now, and it goes for big money on eBay and stuff. This is the 5 Tall Tales, Bud Boddicker and Randolph Scott at Columbia, 1957 to 1960. This is a beautiful box set on Blu-ray from Indicator, the UK label. I believe these are all, okay, it's all regions. So if you get this set, you can watch it and everything. But man, this is a beautiful set. This is one of my prized Blu-rays in my whole collection. I think I would take this to a desert island if I had to pick one. But yeah, you got all the movies upgraded on Blu-ray. This was the first time a lot of those had came out on Blu-ray. And you got some of the stuff from the Sony set shows up on here, some of the interviews and stuff. Plus there's some other new stuff that Indicator put together, interview with like Kim Newman, stuff like that. But yeah, it's got a whole bunch of stuff right there, and really cool. And it's got a really nice little booklet that comes with it. Well, it's not little, it's pretty thick actually. So it's a really nice set. This thing goes for big money now on eBay. So if you happen to come across this and it's reasonable, pick it up immediately. It's an investment if nothing else, so pick that up. But yeah, I love this set. 5 Tall Tales, really cool. And I think that's about it, other than this Laserdisc. Actually, I want to show you, this is a double feature Laserdisc. This has a movie called The Restless Breed, and the main thing I got this for was the Caribou Trail. This is a Laserdisc version of the Caribou Trail with Gabby Hayes and Randolph Scott. Really good. It's got a faded. It's kind of before they restored it for DVD and stuff, but it's still just as fun. But yeah, pretty cool. I think this goes back to the early 90s, I believe. So there you go, pretty cool. And also since then, I think I've upgraded a few books by him. I have these books. This was written by his son, Christopher Scott. This was a book called Whatever Happened to Randolph Scott. It's kind of a loose biography. Doesn't have any real stuff that we didn't already know, but pretty decent. And this book I found to be indispensable when I got this, especially in making my first YouTube video and stuff and going through all this. This is a really good book on the films of Randolph Scott, written by Robert Knott. This is an excellent book. Definitely need this if you're even a small fan of him to get this. It tells about all the movies, all the non-westerns and everything. So excellent book. And then I think this is the book that I got since the other video. This is Randolph Scott, a film biography, and this is in a hardbound book, like something you get from a library. It's got a lot of pictures. And it's just very, very basic facts, just even less than that other book. But Randolph Scott was a very private man. Unfortunately, we have a lot of hearsay and a lot of stuff that he's not here today to say that that's not true or anything, even though nobody would probably believe it anyways. But he was a very private man. We don't know every detail, every sordid tale that he's ever about his life. But pretty good book. And then I got this. I just got this recently. I got a really, really good deal on it. There's a collector from LA that I think he said he was in his 80s, and he's kind of going through his collection and kind of shedding some of it, getting rid of some stuff. So I picked up this autographed picture of Randolph Scott, and this is from I believe this might be from Riding Shotgun. I can't believe I'm not 100% on it. Riding Shotgun or around that time period, but I thought that was really cool. It was written out to somebody that worked on the set, and then he acquired it after that, so I'm basically the third owner. But it's still cool. It's a really great 8x10 shot of him on his horse Stardust that he always used. It's pretty cool. And finally, guys, it all comes to an end now. Now I have this rolled up in this. I don't have a frame yet, but here's a picture of a poster I got recently of the movie Riding Shotgun. And of course this is a reproduction because the original would cost a pretty penny. But this looks really great, and I got it for like 20 bucks, and it's mint, it's perfect, it's highly detailed, not a wrinkle on it. So I'm gonna frame it and put it up somewhere and display it. So I'm pretty proud of that one. Pretty cool. So that's about it, guys. So I doubt that there will be a Randolph Scott 3.0. I doubt that, unless somebody comes out with a whole bunch of Blu-ray upgrades of all his westerns, the Warner Brothers ones and stuff like that. That would be really cool. But that's about it, guys. So I upgraded a few things. I felt lazy this year, like I didn't find somebody brand new to talk about. I really wanted to dive back into Randolph Scott, show off some of the newer stuff that I've acquired, and make this video fresh, and maybe get some new fans out there to see it and get into. So if you want to, go back and check out the 3-year-old video of the first time I did this, which I was still very new at making YouTube videos and everything. So I hope you guys liked this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Randolph Scott's one of my I'm a big fan of him and everything. So go out and check out his films and everything. So yeah, there you go, guys. This is 2022. This is the summer movie Western watch-a-thon Randolph Scott 2.0. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to comment, guys. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.